with Superpowers. I'm your host, Jackie Clark, and today I am joined by the beautiful Natalie Cargyle, who is the founder and CEO of the Connect Network. Natalie, welcome to Sisters with Superpowers.
Hey, happy to be here. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you so much for being here. So we are in the month of women. We are celebrating women, and so we want to celebrate you, and we want to share your story and talk about who you are, what you do, the Connect Network, and get into all the good stuff. So for those who may not know who you are, can you give us a little insight on who Natalie Cargyle is?
Yeah, well, Jackie, I appreciate the platform. I'm so excited for everybody watching to just be inspired today. And I'm just a girl with a big dream, putting one foot in front of the other every single day. And I've been able to build my own media empire. And I almost said little, but nothing's little. We do that to ourselves. This little this little that, but it's a big thing. We're broadcasting several different programs. We create programs to inspire women in business and female entrepreneurs across the country, across the world. And our flagship show is the Connect Show. We have influencers, celebrities, in different cities. We're on the CW network. We're on CBS 7 in West Texas, the CW in Austin, and DC on the CW, really doing the same things with multiple shows. And that is highlighting and amplifying the voices of women in business and female entrepreneurs through media to millions of people every Saturday morning.
I love it. And I love the nature of the show. I love that you're giving a platform to women to share their stories, share their businesses, and really just amplify themselves in this world. So that's really amazing. So why did you start the Connect Network? Actually, let me double back. How did the Connect Network become a thing?
Yeah. In 2018, I became an LLC. So, we got the paperwork in order. And I, at the time, was a pink Cadillac driving sales director for another company. And I was really good at it. I was good at connecting with people. I was good with sharing my story, understanding my why, and just learning sales.
Hmm.
Learning sales. And through that process of leading women, I was exhausted, like regularly exhausted at the end of the day. I think at this time we had about 500 people in my downline. And that took a lot of energy, and when you really love people, you're really leading people with compassion and intention, you are going to pour out your cup. And at that time, I was leading from, not my overflow. See, now I lead in my overflow. I keep my cup full and it's full for me. And everything that's overflowing is for the world, So that's how I give today. And I needed the Connect Network to really build my circle of influence. That's what I was. I was intentionally selfish about connecting with high hanging fruit. And that's how the Connect came to be. It started as a membership based business. We launched with an event January 9th that gave us like $30,000 of capital. Very first thing I did with this membership, between the tables and the sales and the people that signed up, we had some capital. And I'm a former news anchor prior to the pink Cadillacs. And one of my friends said, wow, all these members, you should do a business of the week. Maybe each week you can promote a member of the week. And that's how it started. And I picked 3 friends that was going well. It was just for online. I chose 3 friends. We're like, let's do the view for our website. This is like 2018, 19. And we did, and it was fun and it was great. And one of my former coworkers at ABC said, wow, I wonder if I could get that show on television. And that was our first show to get picked up, February 2019. And today we're broadcasting in 4 or 5 cities with this same show that's now been syndicated. So yeah, same purpose, same vision, same things, but now we're just sharing that story with a larger audience while offering some marketing opportunities to small business women.
Amen, and congratulations to all that. And I love that, using your network, but using your talents and your gifts. And you mentioned that you were a former news anchor. Can you talk to us a little bit about that life? How did you get into being? Was it for news? Was it for everyday entertainment? What were you doing?
When I was 14, I'll spare y'all, we won't go too deep, but when I was 14, I was in class and the teacher said, what are you going to be when you grow up? And I was always going to be a cosmetologist. My mom was a cosmetologist. I loved hair. I loved makeup. I thought I would be in something, in that field. And my girlfriend, Molly Bow, she said, well, I'm going to be the next Katie Couric. And I thought, huh, well, I'm going to be the next Ananda Lewis, because I was obsessed with Ananda Lewis, who, by the way, oh, yeah, she's been on the Connect Network TV. Okay. God is good. Dream it, see it, believe it. I promise you. But at that day, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna be a news person, a VJ. If anybody's 40, a VJ, and I got interested in that. I ended up going to Howard University. HU, somebody. Okay,
Somebody, if you,
you
hey,
know,
for those in the chat, rep where you from? Let us know what college, university you repping.
Yeah. So went to Howard, got a broadcast journalism degree, and ended up my senior year getting nearly an impossible internship at MTV in the news department. And I didn't get to meet Ananda. I worked with Sway. I worked with Ramon Duke, so many amazing people that are doing great things still today. I was 21. And, when I got in that MTV building, I recognized that, wow, this is, what else do you want? Keep talking, keep committing to yourself, keep learning. School's never out for the pro. But when that happened, and the story is just amazing, because I used to have to sleep in a locker room at the Y. I would take the train. I would go to MTV Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I would have in New York, in Manhattan. I had classes at Howard Tuesdays and Thursdays in DC. Took the train overnight, would leave at midnight, was working at Jordan's, Michael Jordan's restaurant in DC. Took the train at midnight, got to New York at like 4. So I would have to sleep in the locker room. The Y opened at 5. So my parents, I had a membership. I could lay on their couch. The fitting room the little locker room was pretty nice. I would take a shower, get dressed, and I would watch Sean Gables in the morning. Now, if you're in Atlanta, you know who she is. Big news anchor, who's also been on the Connect Network TV. But this is just a woman that I was obsessed with and love with. And I would watch her in the morning before I'd go get dressed to go to MTV. And then, but I think it's what you see, what you want. I went to school. I had a vision and then got a master's later in electronic media and became a news anchor for ABC for several years in Texas before being a stay-at-home wife and starting Mary Kay.
Amazing. I mean, that's the hustle and the lifestyle too. People always see the end result of these pretty things, but sleeping in the Y, those are stories that you don't people have a lot of those similar stories, but you don't hear that. Everybody just glorifies the end result. So you talked about Sean and Ananda. Were there any other mentors or people that inspired you as you furthered your career as a news anchor?
Those two are like, I could call them right now. Like I could DM or message either of them right now and they would help me. And I think that it's important to have mentors. I don't have someone that I work with on a weekly basis or a daily basis. I consider my husband my mentor. Might seem a little awkward. He's a very successful man and has built a large investment firm. And we've been married now for about 12 years, but together for 15. And I watch him every day. People that want to be entrepreneurs, like I saw something good the other day. Ice Cube said it, couldn't have said it no better. Okay. If you aren't willing to get back only a quarter of what you're putting in financially, don't even bother. Don't even bother, because the first 4 to 5 years for many entrepreneurs is going to be difficult. It's going to be thin. The money is not going to be what you're hoping for. Entrepreneurship is not easy. And so from a mentor perspective, I would probably say my husband, just because I watch what that looks like in a very successful way. But I'm always thinking to myself, I might need a mentor. I have a lot of people that I can call and I reach out to, but I don't have someone day by day that I go to seeking leadership, because I think that's like school, right? Now we need mentors. They're important. You want someone that you can look up to and call, but you have to go through the process. People can tell you whatever they want to tell you. They can say, recommend, strategy systems, all of this, but you got to actually do the action. Yeah, that's why they talk about action, because people can tell you all they want to, but it's not about what you hear. It's about what did you do?
Absolutely. And if you guys have a mentor or you have somebody you look up to, drop those people in the chat, give them some love, shout it out. But my friend of mine, she said this to me years ago, that you have to have different mentors for different areas of your life. So a life mentor, a business mentor, a financial mentor. Even
Yes.
when you're married, like I'm single, but I know, like, I have my single friends, and then you have your married friends, and you gotta, if you want to have a successful marriage, you gotta surround yourself with successful married couples.
There
If you
you go.
want to have a really thriving, bachelor, bachelorette, lifestyle, you surround yourself with those people. I call them my like-minded tribe. I don't like to
Love
call
that.
people mentors, but I like to call them my like-minded tribe. So you have to have different people in different areas that will hold you accountable, but also inspire you. In different ways. And I love that, for you, you have the honor, pleasure, privilege, stumbling over my words, privilege, to also have your husband, somebody who's not just a partner to you, but somebody who could also, like, be a partner, not just for the husband and wife, but for the
Right.
business, which is really nice. We don't always get that dynamic. So I think that's really really dope. So why is it important for you to shine a spotlight, particularly on women, and give them a platform to stand on?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I was gonna mention in my history of news, just watching, looking up to women. I think everybody is so in love with Barbara Walters, even more after her passing. We've seen so many tributes to her. But in the market, I got my first on-air job as morning news anchor for ABC. There weren't any other Black news anchors, not even just female. Like, there were no other Black news anchors. So when I got to that market, I was really able to see things from just such a different angle when you are one of the first to do something in a space. And not only are minorities not recognized enough through media, but women specifically, there are so few of us in leadership positions. And I think when you go to school for broadcasting or communications, you think you have to work for someone. I went to school to be an employee. I never imagined I would have a media empire, let alone be an entrepreneur. I was going to work for somebody. That's why I went to school, to go get a job, okay, to get a job. But it's funny how the Lord will work. But women are in need of being in the forefront. I
Yeah.
mean, the stories, the way that we are able to multitask. We can mom, we can wife, we can be sexy, cook the meal, cook the food. What else do? We do dishes. I mean, the list goes on forever. And all at the same time, with the babies at home. I have three very small children still, and I built all my businesses while being a mom. I think it's allowed me to really be able to compartmentalize
Mhm.
and thrive. But women are ready to be on television, and you shouldn't be rich or have a huge 500 fortune company to be able to get on television in front of millions. And that's what we do. We really have even the playing field. You don't have to go pitch. People are out here pitching to the wrong people, by the way. They're just pitching.
Mhm.
Like, maybe this person will get me on TV. Maybe this person will get. No, no, I talk to me, because the way we have set up our business, we are looking to promote women. You can decide the cities you want to be on, you can decide what you want to talk about. I mean, there's so many things that are less restricted in our space, so people can really tell their stories.
Absolutely. And you mentioned, first of all, you mentioned something about being only Black woman in this industry, in your city, is it? Or
Well,
in
I'm the first Black news anchor in the Midland Odessa market in
Wow.
Texas. So they hadn't had a Black anchor before. They had a Black weatherman at one time, but never a Black news anchor, male or female.
Mm.
Um, and that was 2007, so it's not even like it's, 1930.
Mm.
So yeah, and that's just one example, but representation, recognition, and being able to see, yourself and others in a big space. That's amazing. And I'm just blessed that the Lord trusts me with this vision and idea, because I would have never seen this business coming.
Well, it was definitely on your life path. It was definitely part of your life plan. It was part of his purpose for you to put you in a position to succeed. And congratulations on, being the first Black person. And I mean, again, you said that, like, 2007 or something. Like, it's so wild to think that even then this wasn't a thing,
Has
but
it?
goes to show you that there's still a lot of firsts to be had. So
Amen.
on the reference of that, you've come up and found success as a Black woman in media, and in a space that's predominantly dominated by men, or Caucasian people in particular. What advice would you give to people who look like you, or other people who want to get into this field, and especially in front of the camera, not just behind, not just the ideation creative person, but get in front? What advice would you give them to get from behind the camera in front of it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so easy nowadays. I mean, back in my day, you had to have you were either a one-man band and you had a big old camera with the equipment and you had to film everything. I mean, now everybody's a star. You're a star, you're a star, and you're a star. And you just got to start and make a schedule, because if you have things scheduled and batched, you will commit to the process, you will show up, it will happen. If you don't, then you're going to keep sitting at home trying to figure out why you haven't started yet. So just start. That's the very first thing. And everyone's a content creator now. All you need is your phone. So practice. Literally, we were taught, get in the mirror. Just get in the mirror, go in the bathroom and practice. And know your ask. That's the other thing that can shift, that can change. But who are you? What do you stand for? And if it's not going to be about who you are, what do you stand for, then what products or services do you want to represent? Share what you're already using and have. There's so many ways to do it. So you can practice in that little way. Do you like these earrings? Friends, listen, let me tell you. And I don't even post, so don't go to my personal page. I don't even post.
We talk about this all the time. We've talked about that.
Girl, I know. I'm about to start posting. You guys, we all need Jackie. I'm telling you. Y'all know.
Thank you. And you know what? I love and agree with that. Like, I tell people all the time, I tell my clients, because everyone's like, I want to become a speaker, I want to do this. And somebody who's a former publicist like myself, we have social media. You have your own network. Like Oprah went and created OWN. We have our own OWN. That is your YouTube, that is your Instagram, your TikTok, your Facebook, your Vimeo, whatever it is that you are on. Create your own platform. You want to become a speaker, you see all these opportunities and no one's pitching you, pitch yourself. And like Natalie said, start with showcasing products and things that you love, because remember, there's a person behind that Instagram account, there is a person behind that brand, right? And like you said, use your own materials and review your materials. Do those recordings, review them, have somebody else look at them, a mentor or somebody else in that scene, figure out your pace and how you talk. And like you just said, just start, because if you wait until it's 100% perfect, you will miss the mile every single time. So one thing I love about you, talking to you, just watching, having the honor of knowing you personally and getting a chance to work alongside you in a lot of different capacities. But before I got to know you, I saw a lot about you online, and you exude an authority online. You exude a confidence online that shows up. And, a lot of us struggle, especially content creators, people who want to be in this media scene. We struggle to show up confidently because we're trying to say the right thing, do the right thing, look the right way.
Right.
So do you have any tips on how people can show authority on screen? And are there any production tricks and tips and tricks any that you can share that would be valuable to our audience?
Yeah. So authority, anytime you're thinking of an authoritative figure, well, what is it about them? It's oftentimes the way they look. So if you think about a police officer, there's an authority there. Think about even a news anchor. When she comes walking in all cute. There's an authority there. Teachers, I mean, a PE coach, whatever it is, they're going to be dressed the part. So whoever you are, whatever you are, and what makes you most confident, put that on. Put that on first. Okay. After you get dressed, okay, then think about what you're great at and what you know. What do you feel good about? What do you feel? What's your best side? You got to know yourself. Spend some time with yourself. What octave do you like? There's places and spaces for all types of personalities. We know that, right? So who are you talking to? Because depending on your demographic, you're going to show up in a particular way.
Yes.
Depending on what your life looks like, So I think there's lots of little things that we can overcome with confidence, that will bring that confidence. Like for women, I mean, obviously I don't, and I'm very proud of everyone that does, that can go on camera and don't have no makeup, like I don't do that, because then I'm not going to be great, because I'm going to be like, damn, I should have put on this, that, this, or that. Now, if you're looking to show authority, but you're still not happy with what you see on the camera, B-roll. B-roll, B-roll, B-roll. If I find myself not liking moving my arms too much, or not liking the way I'm positioned, or my hair, all of the things that nobody cares about but you, right? Nobody cares. I will find the very best B-roll to support my story, so I don't funnel my success, engagement, or information. So if you don't like what it looks like, B-roll, pictures, spice it up, make it cute music, or just talk over the audio. That's another easy way to get the message out. Have authority, because you're doing that audio in the post production, so you're not using the weak or timid or shy energy. Maybe another little
I
tip.
love all those tips. And I ask this because a lot of women are moving into that media space, or they're moving into the space in different facets, right? There's people who want to be on screen all the time, behind the scenes. There are people that are now, I'm sure we have in the chat, there's probably authors, directors, doctors, lawyers, people that are now being asked for their expertise, but having a media understanding to be able to present yourself in a way is very important. And you are one of the women I look at as a phenomenal woman in media, because you're doing so many great things, especially with your platform as well. So with the Connect Network, how can people pitch themselves to you to be a part of the show? Because are you guys looking for open castings, not castings, but do you guys openly take people? Like, how is it that somebody who has an authority, has a skill set that would love to share, how can they be a part of what you're doing?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. We're always looking to collaborate and partner with new small businesses, celebrities, and influencers. We really run the gamut as far as connecting, high-hanging fruit. That's what I continue to call it. And if you feel like, I have a brand, I have a product, I'm poised, I'm dressed, I've got my authority together, I've got my confidence on, put all that on, and then go to our website, theconnectonline.com, and click Be on TV. We broadcast in several cities on the CW network, and most of these segments are 10-minute segments where you can come and you can share and you can talk and you can sell your products with confidence and intention. So that's one way to get in touch with us. We have several new shows coming in April, 2 new shows, Major Impact coming to the CWDC. That show is going to be incredible. So tune in Saturday mornings on the CWDC. 3 dynamic women that are going to be really talking about generational wealth. This is my first show with an all-Black cast, so super proud and excited for them and how they're going to be encouraging and not only just showing how to build wealth, but showing us in a fun, swagged out kind of way. And then we have also Monica Selesky, my new host in Miami. Her show is called Life by Design, that launches in April as well. And then we have a new show, Fashion for TV, which is coming later this summer. So we're working on lots of progress, but you can catch the Connect show on the Connect Network TV, on the CW Miami, Austin, and CBS 7 in West Texas as well.
I love that. And thank you. And, guys, feel free to follow and connect with the Connect Network, share your brand, share your vision, and see how we can all support each other and uplift women in business, small or large.
Yeah.
So as we're getting ready to close, I wanted to ask you a few things. As you know, this is Sisters with Superpowers. So when you hear the word superpower, what comes to mind?
Superpowers. We all have a light. We all have a light. Identify what your light is. And if you really pay attention and get focused, you're going to be in alignment with that next level, whatever that is for you. For me, it's God. But once I truly stepped in my God-given assignment, I knew that I had my superpower backpack. I'm equipped. And there's a lot of alignment, because sometimes you just have to slightly shift your brilliance. It doesn't have to be a big, huge jump, leap, like run. It might be a slight shift, but if you can just shift, recognize, pay attention, and accept that assignment that God has on your life, I think everything comes together. And just don't give up. So many people told me this isn't going to work. When are you going to stop? Why do you keep doing this? Why are you working? You don't even need to work. Like, I don't even, I don't know who those people are anymore because they're
And
not here. They're
they're
not
not.
here.
And I love that you talk. I love the word shift your brilliance. I definitely am going to have to take that, use
Yeah.
that, credit you for that. I
Get it.
think that's such a great term. But I also love that you talked about God given assignment. And I know there may be believers on here and non believers, whatever you believe in, whatever you believe your assignment is for you. But
Yeah.
quickly, if from your own thoughts and opinions, how can people honor their God-given assignment? Because I feel a lot of the times something's placed on our heart, but we think it doesn't make sense. It's not right. You're listening to outside sources and you go against your God-given assignment. How could you, in your own words, in terms of how can we kind of honor our God-given assignment?
Yeah. Open yourself up to receive.
Mm.
You literally have to open yourself up to receive. And I'm like, no yogi. I don't consider myself to have a daily meditation, but I do things where I'm open for the Lord to pay attention. You got to leave 10% for the Lord to walk in the room. You got to leave the door cracked about 10%. Let the Lord walk in every single room you're in. Be aware of his presence. That's the first thing. If you're going to be in the assignment and be aligned, you have to be aware and able to receive that. You can do that just by laying down and being quiet for 10 minutes. Moms, y'all know, because with so many kids, to be able to just lay down for 10 minutes and quiet, that's one way to open up. And then meditation through like soundscape. I love rain. I love birds. I love chirping. I love the sky. I love the breeze. Just sit in that for 10, 15 minutes. That's a great way to open yourself up to peace and quiet and everything that this beautiful world has to offer. Trust yourself.
And you know what? It's I've been learning to walk in my God-given assignment, learning to trust myself, drowning out the noise. One of the biggest things for me was learning to sit with my own shadows. A lot of us are I lived at home for up until 33, I think it was. My sister and I recently just moved out, but I always had somebody at home. So when I traveled or, when I would stay somewhere, it was like in my end of my 20s was the first time I was alone, like with just me, myself, my walls and my shadows.
Yeah.
And I have a client that we talk about, talking to your demons. And it's a really good conversation we have all the time. A lot of us talk to the good part of ourselves, but we don't sit with our shadow self and really do that inner work. And once you do that inner work, and the darkness isn't always a bad place. A lot of people, you don't have to be scared of it, I should say. A lot of people are afraid of the shadow, but sometimes you have to know how to conquer the dark. Because it's like when you're in bed at night, the lights are off, but guess what? Your eyes adjust, your body, your senses adjust, and you're able to see in the darkness. So once you sit with yourself and allow yourself to be still, you'll be able to see and hear yourself clearly. So
can I just say one thing? Because you brought me back to 2017, girl, when I first had the vision of the Connect Network TV. I was pregnant with twins. I've had twins full term. I'm just all the way amazing. Shout out to anybody that has twins out there. Okay. All the way. But my sciatica wasn't acting right. And your girl was in the bed. Okay. And I was just so sad because I was leading this team of 500. I'm in Mary Kay. And this was my life, but no one was working when I couldn't physically lead them. And I was crying to my friend, and she said, girl, you need to take out your Bible. And we all know this scripture. It's so powerful, but he will make you lie down in green pastures. Okay. So when you're down, that's your green pasture. He will lead you beside still waters. Waters are still. Shh. Can't hear anything. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. But when you are lying down in green pastures, that can be some of your greatest opportunities. And I was in a deep green pasture. And the Lord said, my child, let me restore your soul.
Ooh.
Did in a big way.
I felt that. I really, really felt that. And I think, a lot of people here may resonate with that. And if any of this resonates with you, please let us know in the chat. When was the last time you were still and was able to hear your calling? If you know that, put that in the chat. And I want to ask you this, and goes for the audience as well. Please feel free to drop this in the chat. What is your superpower? What do you think your superpower is, Natalie?
My superpower, believing in myself. If I would listen to everybody else, I wouldn't be here with you right now.
Mm.
But yeah, believing in myself, never giving up, just believing in myself. I've had every reason to quit, and so have you. So have you. Everybody listening, you've had every reason to quit, but you didn't, and you're here because you believed in yourself. And
Amen.
that's powerful. Just believing in yourself, man.
That's a period, full stop. That is a great close. Like, there's nothing more to say to that. Believe in yourself. And I tell people all the time. I had a chance to speak to a group of kids a couple weeks back, 8th grade athletes, and was talking to them about branding. And
Yeah.
I asked a few questions, and people were shy to put their hand up, and some people didn't want to do that. And one of the things I wish I had when I was growing up, especially in public school, my parents were really great at this in encouraging me and telling me to believe in myself. But sometimes, you need that affirmation from outside sources that aren't just your parent or your sibling.
Mhm.
I stopped the whole class and said, guys, when you answer a question, when you're going to put your hand up confidently. Believe, if you said you're going to be a pro athlete, I want to see hands up like this, not like this, not like this, because that's doubting yourself, and you're letting me see your doubts, and you're allowing me to be that shark and attack your character. And after that, you see the kids transform and ask a questions, hands straight up, confidently standing up, because you have to believe in yourself. So I completely love that. For those who want to connect with you, I know you mentioned it before, but we'll put it in the chat. But just one more time as we close, how can they find you online?
You guys, thanks for your time. I hope you are inspired. I am at theconnectonline.com. My name's Natalie Cargile. Our business Instagram is the Connect Network. My personal Instagram is Natalie's Network. And hopefully by the time you check me out there, I have more than 3 posts. We'll see.
Well, we're so grateful for having you. Thank you again for just inspiring and uplifting us. This was such a great conversation about a phenomenal woman in media. We hope that other women who want to be in the media space in whatever capacity find some type of truth and inspiration from our conversation. Don't forget to check Natalie out online, and don't forget to stay tuned for the rest of the conference. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Natalie.
Bye.